All right, guys, welcome back. You know, I passed this bay on my way to work, and I have seen birds working in this bay for pretty much 3 days straight. So I'm very curious if I can find whatever's on those birds. Could be stripers, bluefish, I have no idea, but I think there was fish on it because I could see some splashing. So I really want to see if they're still working in this bay. You know, chances are they probably aren't anymore, but I feel like I need to give it a shot. I'll hop into the sound if that doesn't work out and try to blackfish for a little bit. While there's moving water coming into the bay, we're gonna try for the stripers. And then as soon as it starts slowing down, and we're not gonna waste time, we're just gonna go into the sound as soon as possible and try to find a little bit more moving water. Beautiful day. I mean, it's a little chilly. What's the temperature? 57 degrees. It's honestly really nice. Oh, there's a couple more birds up ahead. They're searching though. They're not diving. The most challenging part of this type of fishing, at least for me personally, is just it seems like you have to be at the right place at the right time, number one. Number two, you know, you kind of have to chase these things in a kayak going 3 miles, 4 miles an hour max. It's not easy to get to where you need to go quickly. Something's getting wrecked over here. No, this guy's got the same idea. I'm not seeing much. I think this stuff is pretty much dissipated. I mean, there was like that, I had one little semi shot at it right there. It was just like one little splash though. It was like probably 2 fish chasing a straight bait. And the boat was right there on it. There's a bird working right there. The birds are scattered. So I'm not gonna waste too much more time. Yeah, it's just like a little too nice too, this weather for bass. High sun. It can be challenging. So let's get over into the sound. Wind is not too bad. I think it's only supposed to get better from here. Not much life at all, as you can see on the screen right now. So this is a, I think it's a 3/4 or 1 ounce jig. You see the fuzz starting to build. Starting to feel tiny little taps, I think. Let's put a new crab. See, they're just pecking the guts. Oh, see, look at the screen now. See, lots of fish. Got a lot more interested participants. Oh man, just try a harder shell. Do a half crab too. Just give him less to grab. So I kind of have to bite close to the hook. I finally caught one. All right. Look at that screen, it is lit. Got him chasing him up the water column. Maybe I'll catch one more, and then we'll start leaving shells on and making the crab a little bit more inaccessible. I think I need to lower the weight. Current's not going to get any worse, so going all the way straight to a 1/2 ounce. Like, if I can use a 1/2 ounce, I will always use a 1/2 ounce. Alright, let's try that. Gonna take a very long time to get to the bottom, but that's okay. Look at that screen. Oh, decent blackfish. See how I just got a better fish though instantly from using that smaller jig? I'll leave this shell on. I think I'm very close to the wreck. Oh my gosh, look at the screen now. It feels a little better. This might be a sea bass. It's not fighting like a tog. It is a tog. It's a very nice one. Is that a keeper? It's probably a borderline. Yeah, it's a keeper. Barely 16 and a quarter, 16 and a half. But I'm gonna let it go. Yeah, I'm gonna let her go. I don't want to get greedy out here. It's kind of nice to leave some of these fish. Look at this pile of fish. It's so crazy. Gotta put the underwater camera down soon. Okay guys, so yeah, did a lot of underwater on this one. But it's good. I learned a lot, and so I'm going to share that with you, some of my findings. So if I didn't mention it before, this is a wreck. It's in about 35, 40 feet. Pretty small wreck. So you're not going to actually see any part of the wreck in the video, but it is there. I think it's behind the camera. And I'm dropping down that 1/2 ounce jig, and as you can see, there's quite a few fish. A lot of them are high off the bottom. And there's a lot of silt, a lot of mud, a lot of silt at this area. And in addition to that, the current isn't moving too quick. It's starting to slow down. So a lot of it is staying in the area and making it hard, I think, for the fish to see the crab on the jig. You can see off to the right there, I'm actually lifting it. I do those small lifts with the crab and the jig, just like that, to kind of get some attention. And what's happening is I'm starting to feel bites, but then they would go away. And so every time I would move the crab jig up off the bottom like that, the bites would start again. So that's why I did that. And as you can see, you know, it does draw some attention from nearby blackfish. So yes, I do think it helps in these scenarios. And what I'm noticing too, though, is that a lot of these blackfish are a little bit off the bottom, but they're not very aggressive, right? I'm getting some bites and then it would go away, but they're not really in a very aggressive mood. They're just sort of like in a searching mood almost. And I don't know why exactly. Maybe it was the tide, maybe it is just all this silt, but something has them a little bit wary. I didn't really chum the waters. I threw maybe just one or two dead crabs over. But yeah, I didn't. It's not like I was feeding these fish for any length of time. But yeah, there you're seeing in the background, just trying my best with that jig crab. Sometimes I would put the shell on, sometimes I would keep it off. I think that one right there has the shell on it, and yeah, there's just really not much interest from a lot of those blackfish. You can just see they're not even looking where the crab is. And this is also why, though, I've seen similar behavior like this on another wreck and found that using a rig setup is better. I think I mentioned that in a previous video, and the reason is just that the crab kind of lingers higher off the bottom. I kind of forgot that this wreck is also pretty silty. But yeah, watch this blackfish just do that little scratching on the ground. Not really sure why he's doing that. I've seen other reef fish in Florida do stuff like that, like parrotfish. But I don't know. I don't know what it is that they're doing. But it's pretty interesting. You're going to see another couple of them doing the same thing. But now I've actually switched to putting a crab on this underwater camera setup. So it's sort of like a rig setup. And what you're seeing is just a lot more action. A lot more fish going after the crab now that it's, I think a little elevated off of that silt. And just to be sure that I haven't moved, I've been in the same spot of this wreck the whole time, so the bottom shouldn't look any different. Nothing's really changed. If anything, the current slowed down even more. Yeah, I think a rig just does better at these wrecks. Now that I've been fishing for probably an hour and a half at this wreck, a lot of porgies are there, and that's one of the downsides, though. If you're trying to catch blackfish and you start elevating the bait up off the bottom, a lot of the porgies are going to start attacking. But blackfish, you wait it out, the blackfish will also attack, so it can work. And here you're going to see another blackfish do that scratching on the bottom. It's interesting because he hits his head and the tail at the same time. And I'll show you one more clip at the end where they do it again. There's you seeing a porgy actually have the jig in his mouth, and I'm not setting the hook. Then a blackfish takes it, swims away, and then I set the hook. And here's that last clip of the blackfish. Just, I don't know what he's doing. It's just so interesting to me. Just try a little piece of crab on this thing. It's really got to be the light jig they like. Yeah, you can hear me thinking that it has to do more with the light jig, but I think after seeing the footage, it's really more about the bait being presented above the silt cloud and the fish actually being able to see it. And that resin jig that I'm half jigging and leaving, it just definitely gives a little bit more time above that area for the fish to see it and kind of attack. So I think that's mostly the reason. That, and just sometimes at wrecks I've noticed the fish just are a little bit more hesitant, and because the reason I say that as well is you're gonna see, like, that's a fairly decent one towards the bottom right, but he's not interested with that crab at all. And that crab right there, he can clearly see it, but it has the shell on and it's cracked quite severely, so it's not like it's that hard to get, but he's not really going after it. But I don't know. Let me know your thoughts. Alright guys, so we're gonna go check out a boulder patch. I don't know what was going on with that wreck. I mean, getting lots of bites, but they would stop. No really like big fish, but I think on the underwater there's like a lot of fish, so I don't know. Very weird bite. They didn't really want it. So we're gonna go to the boulders and see if that's a different bite. All right, let's start with 3/4 ounce on my light setup. Let's see if we can get a bite going. It's 38 feet, almost 40 feet, so we're kind of deep. That's a bite already. Yeah, these fish are way more. I didn't even get here for probably 25 seconds. Oh man, it's immediate. All right. Thinking this is good. I think I'm gonna find some keepers on here. Good fish. That's a good fish, good fish. This is a light rod, but that's still a pretty good fish. Oh my, yo, this fish don't want to give up. Oh, that's a nice fish. That's a good fish. Wow. Yeah, nice keeper male. That rod just makes it feel like such a bigger fish, but so yeah, he's about 17. We'll take him. We'll take him. This is a male. You know, I don't feel as bad taking him off the rock piles. Alright, thank you, buddy. Let's see if there's any more of his friends down there. Could that be a sea bass? Yes, it's a sea bass. Oh. Not a big fin. He's not a keeper. I can already tell you. Flying out, bud. Yeah, he's like 15. Good sign though. Getting some fish in here. This is the depth to be though right now. Some nice boulders in here. Alright, this is the last fish before I try to do some underwater to show you guys what's going on down there. Thank you for getting me free. They're so strong. Okay, so this rock pile is in pretty much the exact same depth as the wreck, but the bite was just on right away and the fish were so much more fired up. I mentioned that it took like 25 seconds for the fish to bite here at this rock pile. At the wreck, it took me probably 5 to 10 minutes, probably 10 minutes until I caught my first fish. I was getting slight bites, but I didn't catch a fish for the first 10 minutes. So this rock pile just like absolutely on fire right away. You see the crab drop down, and I'm kind of having a similar issue with the silt here, right? Crab's kind of getting lost in the rocks a little bit, but I think there's a little bit more current here, and you know that's just really not affecting them though. The fish are still very much fired up, and I was even noticing towards the end before I left that the crab was hardly getting to the bottom before they were hitting it. So you know, using a light jig here, 1/2 ounce, pretty important. I can get away with a lighter rod, lighter leader, because these rocks are not too sharp, not too high. The wreck, you really have to use strong gear, but here you can kind of get away with lighter stuff. And you can just see so many fish down there. It's amazing. But yeah, it's still not always easy to hook them, and that's why when you do swing and miss, a lot of times you snag somebody. That's exactly why. There's just a lot of faces down there attacking the crab. Next rock pile. Pretty much the same depth, 35 feet. It's filled in the taps. Ooh, it's got a good head shake. This might be a decent one. Yeah, it's a pretty solid female right there. I'm gonna say she's almost a keeper. She's probably almost a keeper. Wow, look at all those fish that came up after her. It's gonna be another good little spot. 55 degrees in the sound. It was 52, 51 in the bay. Oh, dang. Let's do a whole crab shell cut. Look at that screen. They are all over this thing. Oh man, good fish. Oh my gosh, Oh my goodness. That's a good fish. I think this might be a sea bass. I'm pretty sure this is a sea bass. Yeah, definitely not a blackfish. I think he heard me. It might be a blackfish. Yeah, it's a blackfish. Oof. Another nice male. It's a keeper. 16 and a half. 16 and a half. Yeah, it's a nice one. I'm gonna let him go though. I only need one fish for tonight.
Secure tape. All stations, this is United States Coast Guard Sector, Long Island South. United States Coast Guard Sector, Long Island South. National Weather Service coastal waters forecast. We're running a small craft monitoring for the entirety of the south shore.
We'll see if there's a bigger one. There might be a bigger female on here than that one, but it could be the biggest. We'll put the underwater soon. I just want to catch one more big fish. I think there's one more big one in here. This is a pretty big one, actually. It's not bad. I don't know. It's like an almost keeper, maybe? Okay, I moved just a little bit. Very similar rock pile, same depth. And quite a few fish at this one. This one may have even had some bigger fish, as you'll see later on. The boulders were a little bit bigger, and yeah, I started out with putting a crab on the rig there, but you could see the fish are just like moving faster. You saw some there just swimming away with pieces of the crab very quickly. Over there to the left is a jig. The fish are just in a much more competitive feeding frenzy mood, and I just think there's something about these rocks that the fish are just in a much better feeding mode. This right here I think is a great example of how the sink rate of a light jig is really helpful. You see all those fish just attack it, and then once that guy was shaking with it, they all tried to steal it from him. So yeah, I think there's something with the sink rate too that helps a lot. But yeah, definitely allowing them to swim away with the jig is better. Some spots just require a lot of time to build, while others are just like immediate. And the bigger fish are usually the ones. Oh, as I'm saying that. This could be a keeper. Hooked him a little funny. Hooked him on the outside of the mouth. I don't think he's a keeper. I think he's like 15 and a half. Some of these males have really good runs. And other times, like, the females have better fights, though. I don't know which one is more strong. The only problem with this rod is I can't get a nice hook set in the beginning. A lot of these crabs are dead. Alright, we'll do one last. Let's try a whole crab. Keeping the shell on at certain times is just very helpful, but I don't see any purpose for the legs. Alright, this is the last crab. We got a boogie back. What is that? Oh, whoa. That's a big fish. I don't even think he knew he was hooked. He knows now. Oh, what was it? That was so much fun. I dropped that big one at the end. I don't think it was like that big, but this is light tackle. It's maybe, you know, 18s, probably the best fish of the day, but that's all right. We're not keeping fish, you know, a little less pressure. But yeah, that went pretty well, a little better than expected, but the wreck surprised me. The wreck didn't work as good as I thought it would, but these boulders were on fire. Very thankful that it calmed down today. It actually is calmer than forecasted. It was still forecasted to be blowing, I think 8 to 10 miles an hour out of the west, but this is probably more like, you know, 4 or 5 miles an hour. This is nice. I don't know why I dropped that last one. Just maybe didn't hook them very good. I think that's the one thing with the Ultralight. You just don't get a very good hook set. It's just too wobbly. I did search for bass for a little bit. I mean, I spent a probably solid hour looking for bass, but I may have marked a couple, but that was it. So I don't know where they went. Yeah, hopefully some of the underwater came out. We can learn a little bit from it. It did look pretty clear as I was dropping the camera down, so I think it came out. We'll see if it got anything like in the frame. And the water has been pretty clean, I have to say. In the Western Sound, it's pretty clean. I mean, it gets clean in November, but it usually doesn't get this clean until late November. It is very clean right now. All right, guys. Hope you're getting out there and getting some fish. See you on the next one.